So some of my low buy goals were to pay off the credit card, save $10,000, establish consistent meal planning, which hopefully February will do that for me. That's my goal here in February. The other part was keep a zero-based budget. So I started that. We're going to keep working on it and try to manage all the money that's coming in responsibly. The last one was live more intentionally. I want to be able to do the things that I want to do and have more experiences and say yes more. My low buy intentions were to focus on living more through experiences rather than buying more things. So that's high on the list. Experiences are high on the list. I wanted to reduce overwhelm. With 6 of us in the house, there's always something to clean, always something to pick up. I am always a little jealous of people who don't have as many kids and have a clean house. But I'm living with it and it's fine. I'm just learning to embrace it. We do little pockets of things here and there, and I just try and do nightly habits to help keep the house clean. Or clean enough, we'll say. So one of the goals is to help minimize and simplify our inventory. So then that way I can save time that I would be using for cleaning and organizing for other interests. And the last intention for our low buy year was to teach by example. We have 4 kids. We want those kids to be good with money so they don't have to worry about themselves and their future. You know, anxiety is high around here, so we're trying to keep it as mellow as possible. So I thought we could just sit down, talk to each other, talk a little bit about the low buy year and how it went, and do a little January check-in. So most years, January feels kind of heavy, right? Like you're done the holidays, all the fun stuff is over, and then January comes and it's like, ugh, you gotta go back to real life, and it's cold and miserable, and we talked about that already in my other videos, so I'm not gonna go into it. But this year, January felt fun. I had fun with it. We had minus 40 temperatures for a week and a half, somewhere at something like that. But even though it was really cold, January was still fun. And then, it was warm. It warmed up to plus 15 this week, which is ridiculous. We're talking Celsius here, so I'm sorry. I don't know what Fahrenheit is, but it was decent. So yeah, I mean, creating these YouTube videos has been a really fun new hobby for me. I've been investing in my education in my self-development for the last couple years, so it feels really great to be able to have something to show for it, even if it's not what I was taking courses for. So I just feel like I'm actually doing something and I like it. So at the very least, we're practicing. I thought it'd be fun to talk about some of the things that I'm celebrating from January. And I think it's gotten a little bit easier for me to let go of things. Having the accountability of having people watch me on my YouTube channel and knowing that I have subscribers who are wanting to see my journey has been really motivating for me to be like, all right, I said I'm going to get rid of it, or I said I'm going to do that, so I'm going to follow through. And that has been actually the push that I needed. It's been easier to let go of things. And I think because I, for one, have reached the point of we have been here in this home for 9 years now, and we haven't used some of the things in the whole time that we've been here. So I'm just kind of at the point where I'm ready to let go of the things. I've also given myself permission to kind of keep things in quarantine as a little bit of a buffer, but on the condition that I'm going to get rid of them soon. And then that way it's my inner child is at first you're like, oh no, I don't know, should I not? And then with that buffer period, you feel more okay, and then you have time to get used to the idea, and then it's yeah, I'm ready, let's let it go. So that has been so good. I value space and simplicity more than stuff. That's going to be my tagline these days. The low buy year, I've been tempted to buy things, but it has been super motivating to be no, I'm not planning on buying from those types of things in those types of categories. And I've probably saved us at least $200 this month, which has been awesome. Some things that I've learned about myself this month has been create a wish list. That has been so helpful to be yes, I recognize that you want that thing, but you don't need it right now. And so let's put it on this list, and then in the future we can come back to this list and maybe we could buy things, or we could budget for them, or however I want to do it. And then it feels a lot easier to move past that temptation. So I encourage you guys to try that. Make a little wish list. I also learned that creating is so much better for my soul than consuming ever will be. I can sit on YouTube and consume so much, and thank you for consuming this video. At some point we have to cut ourselves off a little bit and give ourselves time and patience to create something. Kind of the opposite of how we feel about food, right? Like we eat to fill up with energy, but this is like, no, we need to create to fill up with energy. And consuming things should be done on a lesser scale so that it doesn't drain us as fast. I'm curious if you have similar feelings. Let me know in the comments what you do to fill yourself up or to be creative. I'm grateful for supportive family and friends. It feels a little awkward to just like put your life out online. It's like you're opening the curtains to your house and you're like, hey everybody, here I am. So it's been nice to get some positive feedback from family and friends. And I'm super grateful for the YouTube community that has been supporting me as well. There's some other small creators that I've followed and they've followed me back, and we've exchanged comments and such. And that has just been so nice to just be like, somebody sees me. It's free and easy to like a video and to leave a comment. And so it feels so great when someone takes the extra time to do that. So thank you so much if you guys have done that, or if you plan to do it in the future. It is just like, it's a dopamine hit, really, right? Like you just feel like, oh, hey, somebody likes me. And that's not why I'm here. I'm not here for that. Seriously, I'm here for the accountability because it has been like amazing. One thing I purchased in January was a purchase tracking spreadsheet. It was a budgeting spreadsheet, but to track our purchases. I think it's great, and we'll go over what I think about that purchase in particular in the future, or in later on in this video. But for now, I just wanted to share with you guys some of my numbers. So in January, we earned $8,797. We had budgeted $6,142 in our expense categories and $2,489 in our debt payoff, for a total of $8,631. So that's great. That's underneath what we earned. However, we went over budget $2,109. This is not uncommon for us. And some months we just kind of go over, and other months we go way under. So we have a total money, the total money we spent in January was $10,740. So that kind of sucks. We went over budget in a few categories. Our natural gas, which is just high because it's winter anyways, so I should have been expecting that. We went over in our water utility, and that's just because we withdraw coins every few months, and so this ended up being the month where we withdrawed a certain number of coins, and that'll stretch us for 2 or 3 months. Our grocery and household goods, and hence why we are doing a pantry and freezer cooking only challenge this month to stop grocery shopping and see if we can save some money there. We went a little bit over on monthly subscriptions because I had subscribed to something, forgot that I had subscribed to it, and then it had renewed, and I was like, oh man, forgot to cancel it before it renewed. So I did that this week. I canceled it. We went over on our gas and vehicle maintenance. Now this was because we had an oil change for one of the trucks, we needed a battery and a cable, and we needed the winch put onto the quad so that we could push snow off of our yard. We have a very large driveway, and so we use the quad to help move snow. And also, just because it's been colder, I think we just have longer run times for our vehicles. Our tithing went over, and that's just because there's an overlap in the months. So we had some, we were paying for some of December's tithing as well as January's tithing, so that was just an overlap. We went over a little bit in our babysitting allowance. Now, this is money that we pay our older kids to watch our younger kids while we are busy working or out of the house. So it's a fee that we are totally willing to make, and it goes towards them, and then they can use it for their own purchases and things that they want, or their savings. And we really want our kids to get used to having money and using money and also creating a little bit of a budget. That's one thing that we're working on this year, especially as we're budgeting. We want to encourage them to budget as well and to get used to using money and doing it proper. The right way? I don't know. Just be comfortable with it and be good managers of money. And the last category we went over was eating out. Well, we're going to cut back on that in February, so we're going to see how much we can save money there. Hopefully, as this low buy continues, we'll just start to get better and better habits with money. That's the goal for this year. Let's review purchases that I bought. Okay, one red light purchase was this tracking spreadsheet. I didn't actually need it. I could have just made do with all my own stuff. I was just kind of like caught up in the excitement of like, ooh, graphs and charts and things. And that is the great part of this spreadsheet. However, there was some things that I wanted to be able to see and customize that you can't really do. It just kept crashing on me. So I wanted to be able to isolate categories and be able to see what exactly I spent on groceries for January, and it just wouldn't let me isolate those categories. So as a workaround, I was thinking what I could do is create a second spreadsheet there where I would put all of my purchases in and then import them into this spreadsheet. And then that way, the original spreadsheet where I'm tracking the purchases, I could isolate and do the things that I want to do in there. And then this spreadsheet will give me the overall view of how did we do that month. I made a small purchase from Etsy to help with a church lesson that my husband was giving. I made one purchase on Amazon, which was great because usually I make 2 or 3, so that was good. And it was just Tylenol, Advil for children. It was like the chewable tablets. Our 3-year-old has been refusing to take the liquid medication, so I thought maybe the tablets would help, but they didn't help either. So I didn't have to shop at Walmart. I usually get household goods and some groceries from Walmart, and I didn't go there at all. I went to Superstore 3 times. Okay, the most exciting part here. Things I was tempted to buy. So $51 for a course, a sweatshirt and a t-shirt I wanted to buy. That was $121. A little 4x6 photo storage case. That would have been $18. Paint pens, which were on sale for $20. I was super excited about them because they are so much fun, but I resisted and said I could buy them later. A really cool fidget spinner that I think one of the kids would really love. And a replacement for our shop vac filter. We do need one, we just don't need it yet, so just keeping it in the cart for later. So I walked away from $248 in January. Woohoo! Celebrate! Which is good because we didn't have the money for it. The current balance of our credit card is at $4,783.62. Our total savings this month, we put $300 into it. It is at $5,598.13. One of the things I want to talk about when we do check-ins is how inventorying is going. That's a big part of the low buy here, is inventorying all your stuff. I felt really overwhelmed by it. I didn't know where to start, so I didn't do any of it yet. But I think I've got a plan. I think what I'm going to do is start with my red light list category items, move on to the yellow light list, and then to the green or the other things that are in the house. And then in that way, at least it gives me motivation not to buy the things that are on my red light list, because I'll see the actual tallies of what I already have. So something I started doing in January, tracking our purchases and keeping a budget. And something that I stopped doing in January, impulse buying. Woohoo! Or at least most of my impulse buying. It's good, we're doing good. What surprised me the most was the wish list. That is working really well. I encourage you guys to try that out. And the part that's not working yet is the inventorying because I feel overwhelmed, but I'm just going to start small. And also logging purchases. It's just really time consuming, but I also think that that's super important to do. And it holds me accountable to when I track my purchases, then I have to be like, yeah, I bought that. At the end of the month, I can review those purchases like I did with you and say, you know, like, did I actually need these things? And sometimes it'll be yes. And sometimes it'll be a no. And I need to just be more accountable for it and to be more responsible with my money and to stop buying things and then to let go of some of the things that we have around here. Okay, we can do this. My tea is cold. It's time to be done. Thank you for watching. If you found some value in this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's do a low buy year challenge. See you next time. No, really, thank you so much for watching. I really, 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 really appreciate it. If you hadn't noticed, I'm kind of goofy sometimes. And I'm trying to really let my guard down and be a little more goofy on camera because it's so fun. So be on the lookout for more goofiness. It's coming. Alright, I'm gonna spare... I got a new spreadsheet this year. I got a new spreadsheet last month to record our... oh my gosh, I can't speak.